Hey guys, Mr. Happy here, and today we're going to take a quick look at Desynthesis. People have been asking me for the details on this, so I figure I'll let you guys know what I at least know so far. So first of all, you need to unlock Desynthesis if you have any crafting class at 30 or above in Ul'dah, the Steps of Thal at X14Y10 from Sintgat. He's on the screen right now. After you complete the quest from him called Gone to Pieces, you'll be able to check your Desynthesis level by hovering over a crafting class on your class's tab. As for leveling Desynthesis, it's a fairly straightforward deal. You desynthesize items that are made by or repaired by your craft. If you succeed, you get some skill ups and some items, and if you fail, you lose the item and get nothing. You lose, good day sir. Anyway, the success rate and amount of skill up points you get depend on your Desynthesis level versus the item level or rarity of the item you are trying to desynthesize. To show you what I mean, let's say we are trying to desynthesize an item level 50 piece of gear. If your Desynthesis level matches the item level of the piece of gear, you'll have a 50% chance of success. For every Desynthesis level lower or higher you are than the item, you'll lose or gain 2% success rate. At 70% success rate, it only begins going up by 1.5% for every Desynthesis level. Now mind you, while I am using gear as an example, you can desynthesize tons of items such as fish, crafting materials such as an astrolabe clinometer, and furniture. When it comes to stuff like this, it usually depends on the level of the item or the difficulty in crafting it to determine how it compares to your Desynthesis level. Additionally, you can put materia into gear you're desynthesizing to improve their success rate. While this isn't usually necessary at the earlier levels, post level 70, it's almost required if you want to actually rush your way to 100 or make meaningful progress, really. HQ doesn't seem to improve the success rate, but I've heard from some sources it does improve your chances at getting better rewards when you desynthesize. As for a speedy way to skill up, it really depends on your craft. Some crafts have it really easy, and some crafts like Weaver or Alchemy I've heard have it pretty hard. But some crafts can do 1 to 70 fairly cheap. I know goldsmithing is one of the easiest ones, and that's the one I did. On my goldsmith, I literally just went from 1 to 35 by going to some random independent jeweler NPC and just bought rings to desynthesize from him. From that point on until about 55, I went out and farmed mithril ore and electrum ore, made ingots, then made mithril and electrum rings and desynthesized those. From 55 to 72 or 73, I did aetheryte rings, where I bought some gold ore and water clusters, made rose gold nuggets, and then made them into aetheryte rings. Now, this is one of the best recipes, and it's a good example of recipes that are generally better to desynthesize. The best recipes to use for leveling up Desynthesis are those that really don't have that many materials. A single material is by far the easiest. This is so that when you desynthesize them, you literally get the only material you need to craft it back into your inventory, and you could just take time desynthesizing and then resynthesizing the item. It's great. Of course, not every craft has it easy as goldsmithing, as I said before, but it is a solid example of item level usage and attempting to save money. It takes some feeling out, but until 70 levels into it, you're gonna go at a regular pace. Post level 70 Desynthesis, your best bet to level it quickly is to craft things such as 2-star recipes, slot them with multiple materia slots, if it's a piece of gear that is, and then desynthesize them, eventually moving up to 3-star recipes. This keeps you able to get your standard like 0.2 to 0.3 skill ups without that much failure rate. And then of course, when you're above 90, you need to move to the 3-star recipes in order to match the level that you are. It can get pretty expensive. Don't get me wrong, you can desynthesize other items such as Dark Light or hard mode primal weapons. You can even get the item level 80 stuff from the new dungeons, but they have to A, qualify for your craft, and B, you have to make sure that you're running that dungeon constantly to get the items. It's not a quick process. Unless you want to spend a ton of money, getting from 70 to 100 is going to take a bit of time, just saying. As for the individual Denny materials, I've gotten a lot of questions about where to get those, especially the Mastercraft ones. The Mastercraft ones, I've heard people say they've gotten them from Artisan Spectacles, as well as 3-star crafting recipes, such as the item level 90 stuff, cashmere robes and whatnot. For the Denny materials of the primals, you have to desynthesize the hard mode primal weapons. As for the tier 1, 2, and 3 Fieldcraft, Battlecraft, and Clear Denny materials, I got tier 1s up until about item level 45, I got tier 2s up until about item level 70 after level 45, and tier 3s I've gotten from things like Dark Light gear that I've gotten from dungeons and desynthesized. For Fieldcraft, I've also heard that you can desynthesize certain crafting items. For example, the astrolabe clinometer, somebody said they got Fieldcraft Denny Materia 3 from that, but of course if you craft it into an astrolabe, you'll get Battlecraft tier 3 Denny Materia. So use that as a general example of how to get each Denny Materia. Now I would like to comment on one thing. It was mentioned on the official forums that it is intended that if you are ranking up one craft's Desynthesis, you may occasionally lose some points in other skills. Even if you do not hit the 300 level cap, it can happen before then. However, In a recent interview with 4Gamer, the interviewer said, since it's possible to accidentally desynthesize with a class you don't want to level and end up lowering something else, ... To which Yoshi P replied, that won't be happening until you're at the 300 point cap. So for now, you can feel free to raise what you like. It is possible that despite the official posts on the forums that we may find out losing ranks before 300 is a bug. Or it's possible Yoshi P was mistaken, or was misworded, or mistranslated. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Just keep an eye on the news in the coming days and weeks. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check in the comments below and comment yourself if you have anything to say about desynthesizing certain crafts such as Culinarian, Weaver, Alchemy. I've heard that there are horror stories about trying to level those. Maybe you guys have some good tips for anybody looking for them. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and until next time, take care.